Hello, this is Dr. Romulus Durant, Superintendent of Toledo Public Schools, here to have a conversation about junior achievement and the impact and the role it had played in my life, but more importantly in financial success, just obviously understanding the strategies that were taught to me early. Back in the days, I remember my teacher saying, hey, we're going to have junior achievement coming in, and there's a gentleman who is the manager of Churchill's, and I always make a joke to Walter Churchill because this gentleman had came in and he was starting a checkbook program, a checkbook activity, and I always recall my dad sitting down and he would have the checkbook and he would write checks to pay all the bills and sit at the table, and I always wanted to do it, but obviously being a child, sitting at the table writing checks isn't a place to do it, so when I saw this, my eyes lit up. And I was glued in, and he had these fake checkbooks. And here, when he sat on my desk, I had my very own checkbook. And I can tell you, and I told Walter Churchill, I said he was the result of me having to spend some time after school, because what I did was I wrote so many checks that there was no way I could have possibly afford it in real life. And the reality, it was about that at the end of the day, you had to develop revenue before you can draw and draft a check. And then he began to move into the scenario of not only having checks and balances and understanding that you need to work in order to write those checks, but at the same time, you need to develop a savings system and live off a philosophy of a 60-40, meaning that you live off of 60% of your check and you save 40% of your check. And it, through that, I had carried that through the rest of my life, that my parents would always wonder why I was always saving my money. It's because of the program. And I always wanted to make sure that I at least had something, so I held on to every dollar as a child. And then as I got into my adult life, I had moved from living off of 60%, living off of 40%, to currently living off of 30% of my check and saving 70%. But more importantly, it had advanced me into a new stage of investing 70% each and every check. That would not have happened without junior achievement. At the end of the day, there are a lot of people with financial struggles, particularly during a time during a pandemic. But at the end of the day, when they're talking about how to develop this cushion to be able to absorb hard times or a loss of a job, it's the ability to truly understand living off of this system, but living within a budget that allowed me to be successful. I can tell you, because when I first writing those checks, I didn't understand a budget, and I didn't understand I need to live within my means, meaning what my revenue source was. And at the end of the day, that was a transformative experience, meaning it changed my life, as well as thinking every time I earned a dollar. Is that what part of that dollar I was going to save, but more importantly, what part of that dollar I was going to spend, and if I'm going to spend, what was a necessity to spend on. Again, junior achievement played a major role in truly setting the course of my thinking and the things that I've encouraged and advised, as well as on our financial literacy, because at the end of the day, financial stability has been somewhat of the comfort and success in living American lifestyle. But at the same time, it starts very early on, and that was in elementary school when he came out and did that. And the next year that he came, the following year, I was probably one of the best students, because I was all on top of the checks and balances and making sure that every dollar could be accounted for. And so I have carried that into my professional career, as well as it being a mentor and advisory to others. But that does not happen without individuals inserting themselves in children's lives, inserting themselves into individuals' lives that truly makes a difference in how they go about the course of their own. And that's truly about leadership and making an impact and having influence in a positive aspect. So again, junior achievement, thank you for all that you do. Continue to be out there as soldiers on the street and supporting people, supporting kids and families. And at the end of the day, thank you, as well as Walter Churchill, thank you as well for everything that all companies have come together to invest in junior achievement to provide best practice opportunities within industry. TPS proud, junior achievement proud.